I'm going to give you ideas for things that you can certainly create at home without any problem. Nothing too complicated.
Perfect. Well, let's get started.
Okay, so, you find a nice container like this. Now, this one's fortunate in that it has a liner inside of it.
Oh, nice.
So it won't drip. Because that's the one thing you have to watch is you don't want water dripping on your table or on your nice grand piano.
Right.
So always make sure there's some sort of liner or something to protect it if water happens to get in there.
Okay.
So what I'm going to do with this one is I'm actually going to use potted plants that I'm not going to unpot. We're going to put this Norfolk Island pine right there in the middle.
All right.
We're going to put a little bit of moss on either side of it just to kind of hold it in place. Now we want a little seasonal color.
Yes.
So we're going to do a little kalanchoe on either side. This is another great plant, readily available. Comes in yellow, red, orange, any color you really want, and lasts a long time.
Oh, super.
So this also is good if you have plants that have different water requirements.
Yes.
Because you're just going to hit each one of them individually with a little bit of water.
Gotcha. Super.
And then, just to jazz it up a little bit, we're going to use an orchid on each end. So these are Phalaenopsis orchids. They're readily available. Sometimes they come in these little pots that aren't that attractive. So you'd always have to slip this inside of something anyway. So we're going to use it here in our planter at the ends.
I love the drama of those.
Oh, isn't that nice? Yeah, it adds some height to it. So we're going to cover up all of that with some moss. Now, it's almost done, but it needs a little bit more. So I love to add branches and things like that. They add a little drama to it.
Yes.
They add a little height. These are just sticks out of your yard. Everything's more interesting when you spray paint it.
Isn't that true?
Yeah, I mean, these are just white, but you could certainly spray paint them gold or any color you want it like that. So add some nice drama to it. And you know what? We're going to add just a little bit of bling.
Ooh, good.
So yeah, everybody needs a little bling at the holidays. So these are millimeter balls.
Okay.
They come on a piece of wire like this.
Right.
So they're really easy to bunch together, and they come shiny and matte.
Okay.
So I just mix them together, and we're just going to slip them in there, and they just hold themselves in place. So you can see how quick we created this, and it's beautiful. It'll be ready for your table. Put a votive on each end, and you're ready for a great dinner.
Okay, looks like we have another one.
We do. This is something else. Now, this is more the traditional style dish garden. So, amaryllis, always popular this time of year. You need to buy that bulb, and then these big spikes come out of it, and they have these huge flowers on it. This one's going to be red when it opens up and blooms. One of those things you do want to be careful of, though, the bigger the bulb, the better.
Oh,
so
really?
you can see the size of this bulb.
Yes.
And look, it's going to have, this will open first, then this one, then this one. It'll have 3 flowers on it, which will be great, and it'll last a long time. So when that first shoot's done, you just cut it off, and let the next one come, and then the next one.
Okay, good tip.
So we're going to unpot it. Okay. Don't worry, they do not put on a lot of roots when they're flowering. Okay. They'll put on more roots when they have leaves. So don't be surprised if it's got a couple roots on it. It's perfectly fine. Now, it is a big heavy bulb, so you want to stick it down in there and sort of hold it in place.
All right.
And we're just going to balance it off with a couple potted ivies. Again, something you can buy from any garden center.
Yeah.
And the good thing about ivy is it's very forgiving. You can kind of smush its roots down in there, and it won't bother it a bit. Now, again, we're going to put a little moss on there, just because this adds a whole other element to it. It makes it look more finished. And you don't want to, at your dinner party, you don't want to be looking at soil.
True, true.
So now we do call it soil, not dirt.
Okay, I like that.
Yeah, dirt is under your fingernails and behind your ears. So anything that you're using to grow plants is considered soil.
All right.
We've got to add a little bling to it, right?
Oh, I like it. I like the way you're thinking.
Yeah. So hey, can't get much more blingy than these.
No, you cannot.
So commercially available from a hobby store, you can get this kind of stuff. You're just going to put it down in the soil there, and it's going to add a whole nother layer to this. And it actually makes it look pretty even when the amaryllis isn't in bloom.
Yeah.
Now this will hold water, so you don't have to worry about it. You can put it on any surface and it'll be just fine.
Excellent. Jim, thank you so much, and happy holidays.
It was my pleasure having you, and happy holidays to everybody. Thank you for coming.
So wandering around the gardens here at Longwood Gardens, I came across the gardener's tree. Thinking it was a gardener's tree would be full of all like trowels and spades and gardening ornaments. Nothing at all. ABC blocks, kiddies blocks. Apparently, having spoken to one of the gardeners here, it's called the gardener's tree because the gardeners here at Longwood Gardens are in charge of decorating it. And what a fine job they've done. Now this is their wildlife tree. And ever since we've been coming here, they have a different one each year. Now this is very different. First thing you notice is brightly colored feeders, and they're actually made of Lego blocks. But they're actually feeders as well, because there is, I can see grain and nuts on the bottom. There's a tabletop feeder there. And to give it a little bit of pizzazz, they've got these lovely brightly colored birdhouses. like the little kind of wren houses all over the place. And all around you're seeing little buckets full of birdseed, kind of mixed. The nice thing about Longwood, rather than just staying around the main conservatory, there's so much to see and it kind of draws you out into the garden, and there's much more besides. So when you're hanging 500,000 light bulbs up every year, you can afford to lose a few. Have a look at this. These are giant bulbs, look at it. There's a plug there, and I imagine when they plug it in, it's quite spectacular.